Welcome to Patch Notes Panic. I am your host, Paul, broadcasting live from our London studio. Today, we are dissecting the massive May 2026 monthly report for Star Citizen. It has been a busy month for the persistent universe, with Alpha 4.8 launching alongside DefenseCon 2956. We have a full panel of community members joining us today to break down the technicalities and the shifts in the verse. Joining us today is Marcus in Berlin, Chloe in Seattle, Raj in Mumbai, Sarah in Manchester, Toby in Sydney, and Elena in Athens. Welcome to the show, everyone. Let's start with the immediate impact of Alpha 4.8 and DefenseCon. Marcus, you have been looking closely at the ship pipeline, particularly the Drake reveals.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I mean, DefenseCon was huge this year. Seeing the Ironclad and the command module actually flyable, that's a big deal for the Drake fans. But what really caught my eye in the report was the progress on the Kraken. They're like refactoring the hero rooms to use the same assets as the Ironclad. It's smart, you know? It saves memory, keeps the optimization high. But I wonder if it'll feel too copy-paste, even for Drake.
I don't know, Marcus. I think that's just how manufacturers work in real life. It's brand identity, right? I'm actually more focused on the economy side of the 4.8 patch. Paul, they finally pushed those insurance adjustments and player-crafted items live. But did you see the price jump on military components? Grade A stuff is way more expensive now.
It is a significant shift, Chloe. Sarah, from a technical perspective in Manchester, how does the economy shift reflect the work we're seeing in the Planet Tech V5 and Genesis?
Well, it's all linked, isn't it? The Planet Tech team is pushing Genesis hard right now. They're talking about GPU object spawning and the virtual terrain cache. That's the foundation for where these crafting resources actually come from. If the spawning of creatures and minables on V5 planets isn't stable, the whole crafting economy Chloe mentioned just falls apart. They're really focusing on that stability phase now.
Speaking of creatures, did anyone catch the AI notes on the Valakar? The burrowing animations? They're simplifying how the NPCs move along dynamically generated positions. That sounds like they're preparing for more than just a scripted encounter. It feels like they want these things to actually hunt you through the terrain.
If the servers can handle it, Raj. I'm looking at the online technology section. The team admitted that the contract system is... well, it's generating way too many database entries. It's causing performance instability. They're literally having to rewrite how contracts are filtered just to keep the game from, buckling under its own weight.
Toby makes a fair point. The back-end stability seems to be a bottleneck. But Elena, you're in Athens, and you've been following the narrative and mission design updates. We're seeing a familiar face returning, aren't we?
Yes, Recco Battaglia. It's kind of a milestone. She's the first old character they've brought back with a completely new pipeline. The report says they're doing a mass retargeting of combat AI and new performance capture. It's gonna be weird comparing her old model to the new one. Plus, the refueling NPCs getting more voice variety. That adds so much immersion when you're out in the black.
But wait, Elena, did you see the part about the Municipal works? They are doing mission blockouts for it. That's a whole new gameplay loop, right? Not just combat. The report mentioned a faction focused on non-combat gameplay for the 1.0 plan.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Because, the economy report said they're standardizing the price and volume of crafting resources. If we have missions that aren't just go here, shoot that, but actually involve the municipal works or resource management, that makes the crafting feel less like a mini-game and more like a job, a real job in the verse.
I'm a bit worried about the AI combat changes though. The retargeting for male to female combat AI and the unconscious and bleeding out behaviors. It sounds like the NPCs are gonna be a lot more realistic in how they react to damage. If they're fixing the API for tracking damage to trigger motive actions, we might see NPCs actually retreating or like calling for help more effectively.
And the graphics team's backing that up with the global illumination polish. They mentioned depth output support for parallax mapped surfaces. In plain English, that means things like shadows and reflections on complex textures are going to look way better. When you're in a dark corridor with a bleeding out NPC, the atmosphere is going to be, well, intense.
Atmosphere's great, Sarah, but I'm still stuck on the social chat MVP. They're finally building a new in-game text communication system. It's about time. They're tracking friends, online presence, and orgs as upcoming deliverables. But they also mentioned item recovery in 4.8. Has anyone actually tried that yet? They're planning a maglock system for it.
The maglock system is an interesting addition to the item recovery feature set, Toby. It suggests a more physicalized way of getting your gear back. Marcus, back to the ships. The Gatac Railen passed its grey box review. That's a huge milestone for alien ship fans.
Oh, absolutely. The Railen it's such a unique silhouette. And they're already moving into LOD 0. But did you guys see the unannounced ship mentioned? The one that used custom mocap for its enter and exit animations because of its scale? That has to be something big. Like, really big. If it needs its own mocap just to get into the pilot seat?
Maybe it's related to the new mission providers? Narrative mentioned they wrote scripts for several new mission providers and their organizations. If you have a massive new ship, you need a massive reason to fly it, right? Or maybe it's for the new gas cloud tech. The R&D team's doing that multi-scattering thing. It makes the clouds look more realistic when light hits them. Imagine flying a massive, more-capped ship through a gas cloud that actually scatters light properly. The visuals would be stunning.
I'm also interested in the tactical strike groups and the Vandul Mauler. The report says they delivered those alongside flight blades. Flight blades have been, they've been a soon feature for years. Seeing them actually mentioned as delivered for the shop implementation at DefenseCon, that's a big step for solo players who want to automate their turrets.
Yeah, and the shops? The economy team redressed the coffee-to-go stands for DefenseCon. It's a small thing, but it shows they're using their tools to, actually change the world based on events. It's not just a static menu. And the fact that salvagers can now sell components for more money, that's going to change how people loot wrecks. You won't just scrape the hull. You'll actually, pull the grade A military thrusters out because they're worth a fortune now.
Well, as long as the database doesn't crash. The Hex tool update, version 3.39. They're working on a Hex 4.0 redesign. That's the back-end stuff the developers use to manage our accounts. If they rebuild those tools, maybe we'll finally see an end to the entitlement errors and the missing ship bugs after a patch.
It seems the theme of this report is foundations, whether it is the 1.0 narrative foundations mentioned by the AI team, or the Hex 4.0 redesign, or even the Genesis planet tech. They are moving away from temporary fixes and toward permanent systems.
It feels more professional. Even the way the community team is handling the new player guide and the welcome hub, they're trying to make the verse less hostile to newcomers.
Well, as long as the Apex Valakar doesn't eat them the moment they land on a V5 planet.
On that note, I think we have covered the broad strokes of a very dense month. From the technical depths of multi-scattering in gas clouds to the return of Recco Battaglia, The road to Alpha 4.9 and 4.10 is looking remarkably detailed. My thanks to Marcus, Chloe, Raj, Sarah, Toby, and Elena for their insights. This has been Patch Notes Panic. We will see you in the verse. This is Patch Notes Panic, signing off.